is it not? Why is it not? Yes, it's doing well today. What a day we had yesterday. If you weren't here, oh my God, what was my head? Under the words, I guess that's okay. No, no. I guess. Yeah.
Here's the anti-harassment calendar. Before we get started here, I'm going to take attendance, find out who's here. And then we are on the record and we are streaming. And first is there a Michelle Armstrong? I don't see on the Zoom call. Not here. And then Brenda Taylor's not here. And is it, I'm going to have trouble with this. I want you to correct me how I say this, but is it Pardis? Is it Tabai? I saw you unmute. Am I saying your name correctly,
Yes,
ma'am?
that's fine. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, that's correct.
I'm sorry?
That's correct. Could you hear me?
Can hear you just fine, yes. So,
Okay.
ma'am, this has been reset a couple of times, and it doesn't look like there's.
Can I ask a question?
And then, and so we can't. So where are we going with this, ma'am? This has been reset a few times. This has been filed back in the middle of December, and you haven't been able to get service on the respondent, and so.
Yes, sorry. Sorry, can I ask a question? It's because I was speaking with the clerk, and the clerk told me that they filed some files that I didn't want to get filed.
Say that again, ma'am.
And so I'm wondering if I can just. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but you kind of broke up on me there.
I'm sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you fine, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes. Yes, it was about the files because I filed some evidence, but some evidence I didn't want to get filed, but they were filed in mistake. And I was wondering if I can remove them before I can serve the papers.
Well, no, I mean, once something's been filed, it's been filed. And so we can't take it off. But I want to know where you go with the case. I know this has been reset a number of times. There hasn't been able to get any service on the opposing party. And so, and I don't know whether he's had any since then, but this could be dismissed basically without prejudice. And if he surfaces and if you get service on him, you able to get service on him or find out how you can do that, you can refile it and go forward from there.
You gonna work? Yeah. I have to hold you like this? Is that it? Really? It's not really practical, microphone. It's not a Bluetooth mic. It's a good Blue Yeti mic. And I got a new cord recently, thank you, Grim, and a new stand for it so that I'm not to touch it. It's the USB port, I think, at the bottom of this microphone that's giving us fucking issues. I am just but I just got a new cord, Jonathan. Literally, Grim sent me a new cord. Also, thank you, Chris. I'm afraid to put it into the holder because it seems it's working. Like, why does it work up here? Why? Judge, that face is the face I have. I would like you to ask Blue Yeti the same question. Also, it's way out of warranty. Maybe is it too old? I mean, it's just 2 or 3 years old, but anyways, okay. Watch me just hit the mute button. Oh, it worked. Fucking funny that.
I can try and serve it, but I was wondering if I can remove some of the material that has been filed, because I didn't file it and the clerk filed it without asking me, and I wasn't aware that she was going to file it or he was going to file it.
Who
Is it
filed
possible
what,
to do
ma'am?
that? Initially, some attachments I sent to the other judge, they were filed, but I didn't know that they were going to file them, essentially.
Yeah.
And so
No,
I don't want them to be on the record.
When you send something to the court, it's involving a case, it's going to go in the file. It is just going to. And once it's there, I can't take it out.
Okay. But so, okay. Because I used those, some of the material, like some pictures, I had used them for another court case. So
Right.
I'm not sure if it makes sense to.
You could. So what do you wish to do here for today, ma'am? And I think the other judge said he was going to allow this one more time, and then this would be just, there wouldn't be any more renewals. This would just be dismissed, and then if he surfaces or you're able to get service on him, you can refile it.
If I refile it, then I can refile different photographs, right? Like
yes,
not the same one.
Yes, you can. This can be dismissed, and if you want to refile it, you can file whatever you like. But again, nothing's going to happen until you're able to get him served.
And can I serve via email electronically, or does it have to be with somebody?
The filing?
With somebody physically?
I believe.
No, for the service.
Yeah. What's that? No, service, going to need to be personal service, because, I mean, there is allowed for emailing, but we can't know. We need to have acknowledgement that he actually got it. And that's very difficult to do with email.
Okay. Electronic email, so it doesn't work in United States, because in Europe, for example, we have electronic acknowledgement.
So, ma'am, what do you wish to have happen here today?
So there's no other way I can file. I have to have it personally served, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I can try one last time to get it served, but after that.
We can try, and then all right, ma'am, good one more time. We can reset it for 2 weeks with notice.
Okay.
You'll get a notice of hearing get sent to you, and then this will be the last time.
Okay, thank you. And sorry, can another party send him the material electronically as well, or not?
Like, say that again, ma'am. I didn't understand your question.
Can this person knows, file him the material, like send it to him electronically, or does it always have to be personally?
He needs to get served, and we need to have proof of service somehow, that some shows that he had served. And just sending to an email address, it's probably not going to be enough. I'm not sure where this person is. I'm not sure whether this person lives locally, or where this person is at all.
Okay, I can try the last time, and
all right.
Hopefully I manage.
Notice that will get sent.
Oh, now you're working. Hey, great. Thank you, microphone. Welcome, 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 welcome. If you're just getting here, hi, my microphone hates me. I hate it. It's a hate-hate relationship. It's just a hate-hate relationship at this point. It's a Blue Yeti mic. It's supposed to be good. I look at it with just such disdain, too. Anyways, who was it that was just asking about that 1 a.m. About if this lady, I'm sure we've seen her before if he's said that she's been here 3 times. I think the judge and I are both channeling the same I know I can't touch it now, but I have to mute it. That's the problem. I got to press the button to mute it, and I think that jiggles it. Well, I'm going to tell you 1 a.m. that this is brand new. But do you hit it after you start streaming? Like, I have to hit mute. That's how I mute. Otherwise, I talk all the time. Yeah, I can't do the clicky mutes. Yeah, I could, but it's horrible. It takes me so long. I don't like doing that. That's why I like this one. You see? Oh, now it's working again? Okay. I didn't touch it there. This is fucked. Or did you hear me that whole time? That'd be funny because I'm like yelling at it. Anyways, okay. I am going to touch it this time. I didn't touch it last time. I'm going to touch it. We're going to mute it. We're going to continue on. I will try and do as few interruptions as possible. It does seem like a USB.
See you. This will be the last time, and we'll see you back here on February 5th.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're free to leave the Zoom call.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.
And then Tabitha Gordon. You can go ahead. And I know who you folks are. You were here just last week, weren't you? At the Amons, right? Tabitha Gordon is here.
Yes.
Is
the Amons. Oh, it's working now. I can't look at the task manager right now, William. I don't know what's happening. I swear to God, I'm not touching it all the time. People, I'm going to just talk really fast. If you can't see me talking, the game is figure it out. Figure it out. Blah, 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 blah. Also, when it first cut out there, all I just sat there and said to it for a couple, for 30 seconds or 25 seconds was like, you're an asshole. You are an asshole. Oh, yeah, I thought you were going to cut there too. Okay. This lady, again, everybody is vibing me today. These are my vibes. Also, by the way, last night when my mouse stopped working, couldn't get it back working. Had to go buy a wireless mouse.
Heather Gray? Is not. And then I see Casey O'Neill and Shelley O'Neill. And in the courtroom, do we have Tara O'Neill and Otto O'Neill? Yep. So all the O'Neills are present.
And I apologize if it starts echoing. That's because it just decides to work when it wants.
And then do we have Robert Wallace is not here, but the Amonses are here. And then do we have Christina Coe or Joshua Cross? No. And then Jonathan Oram and Courtney Bliss are here.
Yes.
And how about Jenna? And then Jennifer Bargmeyer is here also. I see. Mary Shaw is not here. Michael Maloof is not here either. And then we have the O'Neills.
Because there was a couple at Chandler, they're on their way here. They did not put their names, so I don't know.
Who are there? Okay, so we can take up. You can take up the Bargmeyers first. So apparently some people went to the wrong courtroom. They're on their way. And then so we're going to hold off for a minute before we enter defaults or anything like that, or any dismissals. And so we're going to give them a chance to appear. In the meantime, there are people who are here on both cases, on both sides. So we'll take up that case first. And then that's
Actually, Judge, we are going to take up using my other microphone because this has just been relegated. I guess I'll be clicking the button to mute and unmute and whatever. Just go away. I'm not even happy with you right now. I'm actually mad. I'm mad. Oh, and I just spilled my fucking drink. Okay. Chris, no, I haven't checked my email yet, but thank you so much for the super chat. I should check my email. All right. So we're just using this is please also tell me right now. I would love to hear that my audio quality is better now than it was with the really expensive mic because this is the built-in mic for the webcam. You gotta love that, don't ya? Also, if you're new here, welcome. Hit the like button. Chris with the fur, $2. Thank you so much. Also, I will add it onto my. I don't know. I thought that was a good mic. I guess I'll add something onto my wish list. My Amazon wish list is linked if you want to know what I like. It won't ship Dr. Pepper to my area? Why would they let me put it on the list? Chris, that's horrible. I was almost a bit of a joke, too. I should just go buy some Dr. Pepper and taste it on screen, but oh, you guys, that's crazy. It won't ship Dr. Pepper. Ridiculous. Although I did wonder, I was like, shipping pop? Huh? Okay, now we gotta come down here. We gotta.
Mr. Oram and Ms. Bliss, as well as Ms. Bargmeyer. Could you unmute? Come on your camera, please. And so, Ms. Bliss, are you there also? Okay. So, this is a case and
The main reason I don't like switching back and forth and muting manually in Streamlabs is because normally I can just hit the pause button to like the space bar to pause and play, but if I have to mute manually, then I have to go back and forth. That's just me being a picky, lazy ass streamer. Dr. Pepper, I've never tried it in my life. That's why Chris wants me to try it. And that's why I put it on the list. But I've never tried it before. Jesus Christ, that woman's got heavier duty headphones than Mikey has, which is saying something. Seriously. Look at her headphones. She must work at a radio station or something.
Mr. Orem and Ms. Bliss are seeking an order against Ms. Bargmeyer. Mr. Orem, I'll hear from you first. Could you raise your right hand, please?
Well, Johnny, that's actually a very good idea. So good, in fact, we're going to pause this entire stream right now while I write that down. Okay. Special pen here. Set hotkey spacebar pause. Wait, what did you say? Set the space as your hotkey for mute. For mute. Then when your mic goes on when you pause, the hotkey overrides and can do double duty. Oh my gosh. I will do that. So
You swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
And then go ahead. So before you go, I just want to, you just had a hearing. You folks just had a hearing, didn't you, in Kitsap County?
Correct.
And when was that hearing?
December 19th,
Okay, and where do you work?
UniFirst in Puyallup.
Why didn't you get this back in front of the judge in Kitsap County who ruled on these things earlier?
That was her. That was her having a no contact order against me that the judge
No, I
threw
know,
out.
but it's the same. I know that, but it's the same. Seems to be the same parties, kind of writing out of the same case. Kind of makes sense to me to get it back in front of the same person who kind of could get the context of the whole thing. But go ahead. Now I'll hear from you why you feel you need an order against Ms. Bargmeyer.
We're filing for a no contact and harassment order off Ms. Bugmeyer. In our previous court, I had mentioned that I wasn't sure if she was involved in a lot of emails sent to my fiance and I that were a lot of degrading, a lot of harassment, a lot of slander. After going back, Ms. Bargmeyer had contacted my work to try to compromise my job and had lied about the statement she gave my work to try and get me fired. We are just done with these emails. We are done with her contacting us. We are done with any part of her. And we would just like a no contact order, and we would like to be left alone.
Did she contact you?
but who is she to you? That's what I would like to know. Who is she to you, sir? Sounds juicy though. Okay, is Courtney his future fiance or future wife? Sorry, I was all distracted with my tech issues, and now I'm feeling like I'm behind the. I don't even know what the saying is. Behind the. Behind. I don't know what that saying is.
At all following that last hearing, or is it just I saw in there that she made some complaints to the work, or what exactly?
She had made some complaints to my work that I had that she had a no contact order on me the day that I drove by her house. She had tried to get me banned from quote unquote her city, which is in my district of work. She
Where does she live?
In Bremerton.
Okay, but you work in Puyallup?
Yes, sir.
What about your job takes you to Bremerton?
It's a delivery service.
I see.
Yeah.
But again, the only interaction that took place after the hearing in Kitsap County was her contacting your work?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Bliss, raise your right hand, please.
Yes, sir.
You swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
You can put your hand down. Anything you wish to add at this time?
No, just this, basically the same, that I'd like to not be contacted, no emails, no text messages. Unfortunately, prior to John being served for the previous case, we didn't have a name for this person or anything behind what was going on until they finally surfaced for this last court case. And that's why we chose to go ahead and try to just get this all ended.
Ms. Bargmeyer, could you raise your right hand, please? You swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir, I do.
What's your position?
I'm gonna say it's pretty unique when people don't know who's harassing them. Like how does that even begin? Oh, I've got fucking questions and I need a Coke. I'm gonna grab the Coke. I'll be right back.
Position on all of this?
Well, first, sir, they did file 2 protection orders onto 1 petition. Ms. Bliss was not involved in the previous protection order, but there have 2 alleged different incidents. So it's not fair to me to defend myself against 2 people muddling their alleged incidents.
Oh, never mind. Oh my God, you guys. She's only said 17 words and already I can tell she's a Karen. And this is coming from somebody who has the propensity to be a Karen, okay? I can be a Karen. I utilize my Karen powers for NERAC powers, reverse Karen only, but I can. Of course I can. Yeah. And this girl, woman, in my opinion, allegedly, is a Karen. Do you think that that could be considered slander these days? Like, is Karen a recognized enough term that if you called somebody a Karen and it wasn't appropriate, that you could have a slander suit for that? I wonder if there's enough negativity surrounding the term, or if it would have to be like a well-known sort of thing. I wonder. Also, hi, Liz Box.
Together. In addition, Mr. Orem did ask for a realignment in the previous court case.
What's this all about?
Oh, he's gonna ask now. Perfect. But also, by the way, I'm sorry, boo-hoo, because there's 2 people coming at you. They could have each filed their own petition, and if they did each file their own petition and you were still here on the same day, the judge, for judicial efficiency, would be hearing them at the same time. So, suck it. Allegedly.
About?
Mr. Orem's
Have to say.
Mr. Orem created a fake Facebook account with his friend Brent Hagen and decided to harass. They reached out to 20 plus friends of mine, 5 family members, 1 family member 5 times. Mr. Orem also tried to reach out on his Facebook page. He reached out onto his Instagram page. He drives for a commercial delivery service.
I have so many questions. And said what? First of all, it's going to be tough to prove. Unless you get IP data. I don't think she could technically necessarily, if he denies it, he could just deny it unequivocally. And I'm not sure how she would be able to prove that properly. Also, yeah, who uses Facebook still? Older people older than me, MB. Sometimes I get like, okay, recently I asked for a recipe from a friend of mine, and they had been bragging about this recipe, and I said, "Hey, I would like that recipe. Can you send it to me?" And then like a little bit later, up on my phone pops this link. I'm like, "Fucking Facebook. What? What is this?" And I clicked on it and it was the recipe. But first of all, never where I would be going to find a recipe. But I love it, but I just was like baffled. Like, and I don't use Facebook. Like, really, I don't. I have my Facebook because back in the day, that was sort of like I got a Facebook in 2004. Oh, oh, you just saw me recognize. Oh, oh, that was 20 years ago. Thank you. Thank you, Chris. Thank Chris. Thank Chris. Oh, I'm actually. Whew, I'm reeling a little bit, you guys, from that realization there. 20 years ago, I got my Facebook page. Oh, that doesn't feel good. That nothing part of nothing nothing of that feels good. Oh, oh, okay. Anyway, so I got my Facebook page 20 years ago, and I still have it, but I don't I don't use it that often anymore. I'm just nuts. Like this is I'm literally that actually just threw me. No, I was not. No, I'm not. Uh 20 years ago I was 15. 20 years ago I was 15. It was exactly when Facebook came around. And I worked at the bank 20 years ago. Oh my God. I did so many things. My 20-year reunion. It's in 2 years. Well, that actually hurts. That one hurt.
Service, sir. His closest delivery was a grocery store about a mile away. I live in county. I don't live off a main street. You have to have an effort to get to my house. He drove by my house and then the next day on Instagram decided to
Okay, but
describe
hang
my
on just a
vehicle.
second. Just a second here. You said that he reached out and created a fake account and talked to you.
Oh, Jonathan, wouldn't that be the best? Actually, I hope that in 2 years I will be able to roll into my year reunion. And here's my two goals. I have two goals for my 20-year reunion, you guys. One is to have my YouTube channel. Hi, Mary Brown. Have my YouTube channel be continuing on the way it is, growing. Lovely. Lovely. Thank you guys, by the way. Secondly, I need to have business cards made. I want them to be in the shape of a paisley pattern because my name is Paisley. So I want the shape of the business card to be a paisley pattern. But I really think those are that's my next adult move would be to get business cards. Do you see me? I'm reaching to fucking mute it. I can't.
Doing all this stuff.
Yes.
I mean, why? What was the basis for that?
Because he's mad that I reached out to someone,
Who'd you reach out to?
a different woman once.
Any of these folks?
No. Mr. Orm's been doing all the harassing, sir.
Did you contact his work?
He says I contacted his work on the day that we left court. However, in the evidence that he submitted, his vehicle information. The chat was actually the day before. And my complaint was that there was a delivery vehicle. There was a delivery vehicle that drove into my neighborhood that shouldn't have been there. And he followed up with Instagram the next day describing my vehicle and saying that I should wave as he drives by. So the first was, yes, I contacted before our court hearing and said that I had currently had a temporary protection order against him, but he drove by my work and I felt that that was unsafe. And so they took down my complaint. They said they understood. And then Mr. Oram he actually got the incident report. UniFirst did give him the incident report with my name and my address. And you can actually see my phone number on there, which is actually a violation of privacy. Probably
a violation of your privacy for the private company that you called and voluntarily gave that information to, and then they gave it to their employee? I'm really not sure that you understand that, ma'am. I think that if you would do a privacy investigation, you might find that it is well within a business's legal rights to share information received with pertinent employees, including the one that you supposedly say was in your area unacceptably, which is weird too. Like, who amongst us sits around, watches, oh, is that a fucking Amazon truck out there? Nobody's getting Amazon today. I know because I know what everybody ordered. Like, how do you know that? There's no possible way. So even if the fucking truck drove down the street the wrong place, parked, I'm really quite perplexed as to whose business is it of hers. Yeah. I'm all riled up now. Plus, okay, so here's what I think happened. He somehow allegedly cheated on Courtney over there, and then Jennifer allegedly told on somebody or told this other lady. I mean, we're gonna figure it out together. Also, what is that guy's? Oh, is that U.S. Marine Corps? That guy's wearing a shirt or a hat that says?
a
And
privacy policy.
was a temporary order entered in
Kitsap.
Kitsap?
Yes.
And your position is it was a day before the hearing?
Yes. He even submitted the evidence he submitted even confirms that. If you look on vehicle information, it actually, when it says notes 12/18/23, chat received from Jennifer.
Got it. Mr. Oram, any response to that?
Yeah. So the date of the time where I drove by the house, to go back to her further statement, she has been reaching out to friends, any female friends of mine. She's been setting up fake emails, but she had mentioned to a female friend of mine that her and I were sleeping together and was trying to mess up my fiance and I's relationship by saying this. She reached out to this female friend that she had no clue. She admitted that she was sleeping with me to this person. So yes, when her name surfaced on December 1st, I believe I drove by her house to see if I recognized her.
Hold on. I was looking at my phone. We need to backtrack here and understand that. Who's sleeping with who? Who is sleeping with who? We're gonna back that up till when he starts talking here. Okay, what in the mother of God?
Yeah. So the date of the time where I drove by the house, to go back to her further statement, she has been reaching out to friends, any female friends of mine. She's been setting up fake emails, but she had mentioned to a female friend of mine that her and I were sleeping together and was trying to mess up my fiance and I's relationship by saying this. She reached out to this female friend that she had no clue. She admitted that she was sleeping with me to this person.
Okay, because okay, okay. Okay. We have a little point of point of order, Your Honor. Um, and I'm so glad we can pause this. I bet the judge wishes he could pause. But if you didn't sleep with her, you would have said she made up the fact that she's sleeping with me. But he just said she admitted to sleeping with me. Like he's not even really. I can't imagine them together. Where did they meet? On the delivery route? Was he delivering something to her and it was like a porno? And he like walked up and then she just couldn't resist. She just bent over, presented herself, and bam, away we go.
So yes, when her name surfaced on December 1st, I believe I drove by her house to see if I recognized her. There was no protection order on that day. The protection order was served on the 6th of December or the 5th of December. So after I received the protection order, I did not drive by her house. I did not contact her. So I don't know where that's in place, but yeah, there's been no harassing on my part. We were simply trying to find out who she is and what her madness is behind this, telling people that she's sleeping with me. I've never met this woman, never seen this woman, have no interest in ever seeing this woman. Just want her out of my life.
All right.
Oh man, I really wish he had said, I really don't want to see her naked, Judge. Would you? But he can't. So she's a catfish, MB. I think you're right. Miss Carrie, say good luck to Creed. I think she catfished. Is she one of the, oh my God, could you imagine if she was like, that was like her life's sort of goal and like life? Like, I actually catfish people and then I turn them into their spouses? I mean, that's weird. That is so weird. But catfishing in itself is weird. You know, here's the thing. Pretending to be somebody you're not on the internet, not weird, in fact. Um, Everywhere you go, you can be a bit of a different person on the internet. And even on YouTube in different chats, you can be a bit of a different person. And that's not something that I judge. When it comes to the point where you're contacting other people's partners to expose something, I don't like that. I don't like that. That's meddling fucking Karen nonsense. Karen nonsense.
Ms. Bargmeyer, anything you'd like to say at this time?
Yeah, if you watch actually the video that I posted on Orem and emails, he actually admitted in court that I had nothing to do with this. So you can watch the video that he even supports my case that I did not send any of these emails. So he either lied in court then or he's lying in court now.
So there's screenshots of a series of texts. Who submitted those?
A lot of those were submitted from her and the previous.
Right. And they showed to me too, and they don't.
We resubmitted hers. Those were disregarded. Yes, I did say that she may have been caught up in something, but after reading some of her texts, the verbiage is still the same. So being that we haven't had a name, so we are linking
Your
her
texts aren't
with
that your text, if I'm reading them correctly, some of them don't really reflect all that well on you either there, Mr. Orem.
No, sir. No, sir.
All right. So here's what's going to happen here today.
Sir,
so
can I add something, please?
Yes.
The day after our court hearing, I did get a text from a fake number that
I'm just going to point out, if you got the text, it probably wasn't a fake number. It may have been a an internet phone number, but I'm pretty sure that if you received the message and were able to converse, the number itself was real. You know? Just saying.
Actually referenced the incident report, quoted the incident report, and later in those texts, I do have it under Orem hearing, and it's further down that it does quote the incident hearing, and also sends a picture of me. It talks about my employment. It asks what military base I work on, but hey, I already know. The same context was all in the same conversations I had with Mr. Orem on Instagram. So he's continued to contact him or one of his friends.
Well, the only thing in front of me here now is Mr. Orem, Ms. Bliss's petition against Ms. Bargmeyer. Unlawful harassment is a knowing and willful course of conduct directed at a specific person that seriously alarms, annoys, harasses, or is detrimental to such person that serves no legitimate or lawful purpose. Course of conduct must be such as would cause a reasonable person to suffer substantial emotional distress and must actually cause substantial emotional stress to the petitioner. Apparently, there was a hearing back in December, and at that hearing, Ms. Bergmeyer brought the petition against Mr. Orem. That was denied. Mr. Orem at the hearing asked to realign the parties and asked for an order against Ms. Bargmeyer. That was also denied. Since then, doesn't appear to me that there's, Ms. Bargmeyer says, well, there's some block number, but I can't make a finding that that was Mr. Orem. Mr. Orem said he's had no contact from Ms. Bargmeyer. The date that was reported appears to be the day before the hearing when an actual order was in place. And so at this point, based on the evidence presented, I'm not going to find that a course of harassment against Mr. Orem or Ms. Bliss was occurred. And so the request for an order.
Oh, she looks pissed about that. Look at her face. Look at that face. She looks fucking pissed. Keyboard warrior.
Will be denied.
Thank you, sir.
And you all free to leave the Zoom call. You can do that at the end. You can get a copy of that after the it'll go up on the Thurston County District Court website, and then you're all free to leave the Zoom call. So I think we've had some people join us. Ms. Gray, is that you in the back there? Thank you. And then we have Mr. Looks like Mr. Wallace is on the Zoom call. So Mr. and Ms. Amons, why don't you want to come up and take a seat? So, Mr. Wallace.
Yes.
Actually, Mr. Wallace, before you get going, somebody asked me a question. What's my favorite gummy? Do you mean like candy? Because I have two favorite candies very specifically. My first favorite candy is Haribo Coke bottles. I love them. I can eat many. In fact, one time I ate so many that I had a little concern about the amount of gelatin or whatever it is in them. I was okay, but I was a little worried for myself. And then my second favorite candy in the world are oh, you're talking about THC? Oh, well, I don't care. I'll eat anything. I'll take it. I'll eat anything. Here's actually that's not true. here's something here, I'll make a difference. So if you're looking at THC gummies and you're trying to decide for yourself which ones you want versus which ones like are available, there are two things that I would recommend that you look at, considering that I used to manage a dispensary and we used to sell a lot of edibles. The first thing to look at is the candy that I am going to be eating, that is THC candy, is it a candy that I can buy at the store? Is it a fuzzy peach? Is it a Coke bottle? Is it a gummy bear in a very standard shape? Okay. If it is, the likelihood is that the THC is sprayed onto those. Those would be what you would call a spray on type of gummy. And they're not great because it will vary depending on where it is, how much THC spray gone on it, etc., how much comes off during the sort of packaging. And so if you are looking at THC gummies, ideally you want to find ones that are infused, aka they've either melted down the gummies to remake them into their own shape after they've infused the THC into it, or they're entirely making the whole batch and infusing the THC in it. In Canada, there is a very ridiculous limit on THC gummies. I think it's like 10 milligrams per package. You cannot go above that. 10 milligrams per package. I mean, I would have to buy, I can easily take like a 200 milligram gummy and be fine. So, I mean, you'd have to buy 20 packs, which is crazy. So if you are out and you're thinking about buying a gummy from a dispensary, the main thing that you should ask is, are these infused or are they a spray-on product? Go with the infused product as best you can because you will get a more consistent high over that as opposed to the spray-on ones. But what I've always said, and what I think is important, and one of my best tips that I have for people is if you are going to go and buy some gummies and you want to get high, but let's say you do buy the Coke bottles, right? Well, if you buy a pack of Coke bottles, you can't eat all of those unless you're like me. So you should also buy a non-medicinal pack. And that way you take your gummy that's got the THC in it, you take your dosage, you put those away, and then you can munch on the other gummies and not feel silly. It's like when we used to make these really delicious lemon cookies. They were called lemon bombs. And they had 330 milligrams of THC in one of these cookies. Now, most people can't handle that. In fact, most people need to cut that up into many pieces for it to be worthwhile to them. Well, who wants to eat a fucking piece, like tiny piece of a fucking lemon cookie? Nobody. They want to eat it all. It didn't make sense to me. I've been saying they should be making THC gummies look like vegetables, and then the kids won't get at them.
So you're asking for an order against Ms. Amons and Mr. and Ms. Amons.
You're asking for an order from Mr. and Mrs. Amons.
Huh?
You're asking for a protection order against Amanda and Steve.
Yes, I'm looking for a protection order against Amanda and Steve.
Okay, can you hear me?
Not very well.
Okay, so this isn't going to work, ma'am, for me to go to you and then you speak to him. He needs to be able to hear me. And I need to speak from him. I can't have, we went through this last week, ma'am, and I don't know, you're off camera. I can't see you, but the Amonses were here last week for, there was another resident. And I know that there was a woman on who was bringing the petition. Her name escapes me at the moment, but there's, you know, I could tell that there were people off camera kind of participating in the hearing. And we're not going to do that this way this time.
It's just Robert and I'm his caregiver, and he has a hard time hearing and a hard time processing information. He's a veteran, and the reason that that we are trying to get a protection order is because the Amons, like they did.
So I'm going to stop you there, ma'am, because there's no we here. See, that's my problem. The only person asking for a no contact order is Mr. Wallace.
I understand. I apologize. But we do have adult protective services that are also going to be asking for a protection order on behalf of Mr. Wallace.
So um, when is that going to take place?
We just met with them. I can give you the investigation ID number if you like.
No, I mean, there's nothing I can do with that now.
Well, we just received it.
I'd just like to remind everybody this seniors home was featured last week. They got some shit going down. Would you not love to hear the management meeting at this fucking apartment building? Honestly, I would. I actually really would.
So who filled out?
Oh, at least another hour, Bob. Donna, thank you so much. Miss Orlando Chiquita gifting memberships. Thank you, Donna. Yeah, we'll be here for at least an hour. We're gonna finish this off. Get her done. And yeah, go from there. Let's see what we got. He's taking a long time to figure this out. He's not in a good mood today.
This petition, ma'am, was that Mr. Wallace who wrote everything down here?
I did. But Mr. Wallace spoke to me and I wrote his words.
What did you say Adult Protective Services was going to do?
They're going to be getting a protection order is what the request was, or what Ms. Wan, the investigator, said that she was going to do.
How is she going to go about doing that?
That I'm not sure.
All right. So, ma'am, I'm going to figure out what we're going to do here today. Is he able to travel to come to court in person?
It's really difficult for him because he's in an electric wheelchair. He's wheelchair bound.
Yeah, I understand, but
if he has to, we can find a way, sir.
You know, and you told me, I think I heard you say that he has trouble processing things.
Yes, sir. He has some dementia and he has problems. Right. When you talk to him, he has problems processing information.
All right. You wanted to say something, sir?
Yes. There's a copy of everything that's going on, right?
What do you mean?
Things are being videotaped and to keep or process.
If you,
Miss Webb came out of the lady from the 16th came out of the bedroom earlier. I think Bob's being coached.
yeah, he
So
is.
okay, hang on, just stop here. Okay.
And this is the same lady.
Yeah,
Her name's Carla.
I know that, ma'am. I know that, ma'am.
Said she was Tina's caretaker. Now she's Bob's.
Hmm. Has anybody from Adult Protective Services contacted you folks?
No, they have not. And I used to work for
Okay,
DSHS.
just yes or no question.
No, Your Honor.
If you didn't see last week, I believe that woman would be here coaching him, allegedly, in my opinion. Yeah. WTF is going on at this senior's place? I would like to now, what I want to do is input the information that we've learned from these hearings into ChatGPT and have it create a little mini drama series for us based on what do they call it? The reserve. That's what it's called. The reserve.
Remind me, how long have you folks lived there? You told me last week.
Well, this April will be going on 4 years.
I see.
For a 4th-year renewal.
Yeah, we're on
All
our
right.
4th year renewal. And the temporary order you have is don't go upon. That seems to be working.
Okay. So, ma'am, and Mr. Gordon, I don't know if you can hear me.
Mr. Wallace.
Mr. Wallace, thank you.
Yes.
You know, I'm not really comfortable going forward, given everything I've heard. When you say that he has trouble processing things and he suffers from, unfortunately, and these are your words, suffers from dementia, and you told me you're the one who filled out the petition. I'm just not really comfortable going forward at this time, given all of that. Then the question becomes what to do. And the temporary order was entered. Yeah. And we can renew that and reset this for a couple of 3 weeks, and then the order stays in place. Then someone can track down something from Adult Protective Services and see if they have get a report from them to see what, if anything, they're going to do.
Okay. And then would you prefer that Mr. Wallace come into the courtroom instead of doing Zoom?
Who the fuck is that guy? Look at the judge's face. Watch this. Watch this dude walk across here. Who the fuck is this guy?
Okay. And then would you prefer that Mr. Wallace come into the courtroom?
Who's Sketchy McSketcherson back there? What the? Where are they? She specifically said it was just them. That's the only problem here, is that she specifically said it was just them in The room. Sus. Fucking sus.
Instead of doing Zoom.
Ma'am, if I'm here in this case, I got to be satisfied that he's the one really asking for this and that he's of sufficient sound mind that I can rely on what he's telling me. And so, again, when I everything seems to be going through you right now. And then, and if I swear him in and testify, I'm not sure what I'm going to get, particularly if you says he suffers from, again, I need to know what's coming from him and not from you.
Well, this is definitely coming from him. It's not coming from me.
It seems to be working right now. There hasn't been any, apparently. So we'll renew that and then see if someone can get a report from Adult Protective Services and just kind of see where we're at.
Okay.
I haven't talked to Bob in the same period of time as.
So the folks over there, the gentleman in the plaid and then the lady, that's Amanda, right? She says that's what they call her, Amanda, I'm terrible for laughing. Also, I'm so channeling my 20 years ago, 2004. I'm actually, I wish I had a therapist, to be honest, because I feel like I should talk about that. Anyways, also I'm like, just had a drink. Where is it? Like I just put it down and now I cannot see it. I know. You guys are my therapy. Y'all are amazing. Also, thanks for being here. Make sure you hit the like button. So helpful. You wouldn't believe it. YouTube Daddy sends me stats about it every week. Every week, he literally tells me how many people hit the like button.
Over a year.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what's going on out there based on my experience last week in this, but.
And if you notice, Bob's statement is the same as Miss Forbes.
It was, I did notice that.
Yeah.
Okay, and so, which again, makes me wonder who's running the show. But we're gonna redo this in 2 weeks. We'll reconvene and then we'll get a report from Adult Protective Services and see where we're at.
Okay, thank you.
And so actually, because I'll need a copy of it. Give me a of that now.
Jonathan, your comment could have only been better if you said, Amanda, really? I have this rush of thoughts and flight of mind or something like that. Anyways, no, seriously. Cool, Amanda, that's cool. If that's true. Like I said, anyone can be anybody on the internet, and it's okay. Because we all are not, we know I'm no expert. Do you remember when somebody came in, I had put myself in the translator box and then somebody thought I was the translator? Oh, that was funny. Actually, one of my best, as of 7:44 a.m. California time, baby, West Coast, that's my time. You are a Grim. That is so exciting. Congratulations. Wow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And congratulations. Oh my God. I love it. I'm a parenting expert. Literally used to have a little spot on TV because I used to run this mommy group, but now my kid's old. And I miss babies. My God. I love the back of babies' necks. Oh. Honestly. Anyways, okay. Congrats, Grim. Yeah, what is your grandpa name? That's a great question, MB. What is your grandpa name? Is it Papa, Grandpa, Gida, Gramps, Grandfather? I'll tell you a little story. My grandfather, I really only grew up with one because my dad's side of the family was in Scotland, but my mom's side of the family had already immigrated from Scotland. And so I grew up with my mom's side of the family. And so I only had one set of grandparents, Nana, who we hear about often. And then my grandfather, we ended up calling uh Jonda, which is a little bit weird, but because his name was John, and then my mom called him instead of Dad, I guess. So we called him Jonda, and it just rolled off the tongue, and it was so easy. Maybe you could be Grimda or whatever your name is. I like it. It was so sweet, Jonda. Where's my Jonda? A long time since he passed away too, which is gonna make me sad. I'm not gonna think about it. Hi, my story is not over yet. I have been lamenting not checking my email better. I will look and see and respond to you soon. My diamond arting has been lacking lately. But yes, I will have a baby around soon. That's true. My sister's secret baby that she doesn't want me to share on social media, which I wouldn't. But like anecdotally, obviously, I will share. I'm a YouTuber. Of course, I'm going to share about my sister's pregnancy online. I'm a YouTuber. Of course, I'm going to cross people's personal boundaries and ignore their specific requests.
We're set for February 5th at 9 a.m.
Courtney, I'm going to tell you the truth right now. Okay? Babies don't smell bad. And if you have a breastfed baby, their poo doesn't even smell bad. When a baby is fed only breast milk, and I know this from experience, it's actually sweet smelling. Yeah, and if anybody didn't know, that is a current trend going around on YouTube Shorts and probably TikTok where people like walk around and they sort of say like, I'm a insert whatever you are here, and then like a classic trope about that, and that's basically what I was just doing there when I said I'm a YouTuber. I hope it hit properly. But formula baby poops, yeah, those probably stink. I don't know. I never had any of those. I breastfed my daughter for 2.5 years, and she never took a bottle. Hi, Philip Heels. Welcome back. Thank you for returning. Yeah, she never took a bottle, which means in the first like 6 to 7, 8 months of life, I was 100% responsible for her nourishment. I know that sounds a little funny to say because, like, I am currently 100% responsible for my own nourishment 100% of the time, and I fail. I fail frequently at nourishing myself properly. Now, lucky for me, there was this bit of a cheat code, the boobies. I was like, that's all I got to do. And then it worked. Oh my God. Best part. Best part. Plus, it was free. Oh, we know a cheap queen.
We'll give you a copy of this. Once you get that, you're free to go.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
I had one question, Your Honor, I'm sorry.
What was your question?
What does upon mean? Just if I happen to run into.
Yeah,
Bob,
just don't go into
go
their property. And if you see them, you can turn around and walk the other way.
Thank you.
Well, Your Honor, the building, we had a flood, a major flood. Every single floor was flooded. So there's elevators that are shut down.
Right.
So order for us to go to the back parking lot, we have to pass his apartment. It's just a
Just
long name.
ignore it, avert your eyes, and
Yeah.
don't go into the
Okay.
apartment. That's it for today, Mr. Wallace. You can leave the Zoom call.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Ms. Gray. Come on up and take a seat.
I'm particularly convinced that there's pheromones in babies that your body wants. I always used to, I'm a terrible person. I used to joke because I ran a baby group and I would have access to lots of babies. Now that sounds terrible, but I'd be like, I take all of their innocence and souls away. And my ex-husband was like, that's really creepy. I'm like, I just smell the back of their neck. Like, that's what I basically mean by that. And I hold them where their parents need a break. I know it is creepy, but it's true. At least I'm being honest. And I am maybe a little quieter because I'm using a different mic. I'll try and talk a little bit louder. I can't turn it up anymore. But I can pronounce my words better. But somebody will yell at me.
Give me just a second. And Ms. Gordon, you can come on the Zoom call.
Okay.
So looks like a bunch of stuff was filed today. Who filed all that stuff?
I did.
Okay, I did. Obviously it was filed today. I haven't.
Yeah,
I looked at all this stuff
I
last
think I
week.
submitted it on Friday, but we had issues with our internet.
Did you see all that stuff, ma'am?
No.
Ms. Gordon?
So guys, a lot of these are resets. We watched these and then they reset them because they weren't able to get service, or there's a little bit of a chat and then they have to reset it for whatever reason. That's where we mostly have seen these before, is for resets or for on new like a case where she's been involved before. I mean, ugh. But I do think that once you get a TPO, it might become more easy to file TPO paperwork. You know what I mean? That's my theory. She looks pissed. I was trying to replicate her look here. She's doing like a little mini choke. She's got the thumb bent a little bit, so then I gotta look dead on. But if I look dead on, I can't look at that stuff. Alright, these are just your problems, Paisley.
You know how to access the court file to see things?
Yeah, and I did try this morning and it just comes up blank.
Again, I haven't read any of this stuff. And so it's quite long. So for today,
Yeah, she's got resting bitch face. So do I, Michelle. And here's actually something funny that I did the other day. This is not going to be funny for everybody. Some people will be disgusted by this. But, and maybe I shouldn't even do this, but here, watch this. This is me, and I'm smiling, and I'm talking, and I'm looking quite natural. But this would be my natural, like, looking at you face. And then, like, I can absolutely turn on the Karen fucking contempt in my eyebrows. So when I'm just gonna say that, I mean, and I do it because I understand it's not pleasant to look at. So when I smile, and I do it with my eyes too, and people are like, oh my God, when people smile, they don't do it with their eyes, they're not telling the truth. Well, you can teach yourself how to do that. But that's not my natural face. You have to teach yourself to do that. A lot of people just go to resting bitch face. And I was doing it the other day in the camera, and I was just like going from like, dude, I was like, I can't see, it's funny now in front of other people, but like I wish I had recorded it because it was so stark, the difference that I was doing. It was like so fast. I don't know what I was saying to make myself do it, but I'll try it. I'll figure it out again and videotape it. But basically, I have an uncanny ability to flip my face very quickly into a bitch.
Give me just a minute. What's next week look like? What about 2 weeks? Yeah, but they'll probably get some between now and the next week. All right.
I mean, if it means anything, we can just disregard that to be able to continue. I mean, other than there's a photo there and a video. That's short.
So what do you want to do there, Ms. Gordon? Again, it's a late filing. You're entitled to look at all this stuff. It's here. I can't ignore it. I mean, so we can go forward from today, and I can look at if it becomes important for me to look at this stuff. I did read everything up prior to this, including video of some things. And so we can either proceed today, or otherwise we can reconvene in a week, and Buddy can take a look at what's been filed, and then I can consider it and make an appropriate decision. It's up to you, folks. Ms. Gordon, you're the petitioner. I'll hear from you first.
I guess if I just get the gist of whatever you're looking at, I'm kind of okay with that. Excuse my voice. I'm still trying to fight COVID for the last few weeks.
Give me just a second. Okay. There's a statement from Anthony Kier. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly.
Yes.
It's also a statement from Geneza.
Geneva? She got the Geneva Convention involved here, Ed? What the fuck is going on? Also, yeah, Orlando Chiquita has seen it firsthand. No, I know he didn't say Geneva, but again, I would just like to point out how simple it is for me to seemingly not have drama in my life. I do not understand why some people are just so fucking drawn to it. Maybe it's a need for attention. They should figure it out. Like, start a YouTube channel.
And then both of them are quite long. So, Ms., if you want to proceed here today, there, Ms. Gordon, I'll swear you in, and we'll hear from you. If you want a week to look at the stuff that's been filed, you can do that. There's some fairly detailed statements from folks, which again, I can't unsee them. I just looked at them now. I kind of scan through them, but I will consider them since they're in the file. So it's up to
Okay,
you.
then if that's what you're gonna consider, then no, I
Sure.
would like to wait because I need to be able to read that myself.
Okay. If you want to respond to that, you need to get anything in the file by Wednesday. Do you understand that? Today's Monday.
Yes.
And so given the late filing, ma'am, we'll convene in a week.
Okay. Okay, 1 week.
Yeah, let's be back 1 week.
Honestly, she looks deathly ill in that light. That was gonna be a good one. We'll have to wait till next week. You know we'll be here. What the? She actually looks sick right now. If you were trying to put makeup on somebody to make them look sick, I believe that this is how you would do that. I put makeup on every day to make myself not look sick. When I don't wear makeup, evidently I look sick. But see, do I look stoned, Ed? Because I'm as stoned as you can get, and I don't think I look stoned. So I don't think that stoned is the same, you know, for everybody. I'll just say that. I've literally been smoking a joint while we're talking. I'm definitely high. And I'm just, again, I just like to point that out. Yeah, some people pull it up because they do it every day. Oops, me. That's okay. Actually, I think there are probably maybe a few days when I was traveling in Florida before I was godsended relief. We'll just leave it at that. That I probably I probably looked like that, like a little fucked up. So for me, it's like when you're not stoned, you look a little fucked up. When you are stoned, you look normal. So to be clear, me too, in my younger days, and we've determined now that 2004 was 20 years ago, in case anybody else wants to feel like shit today like I do. Just know that. Just like hear that. Hear that. Okay? Hear that. But because you can scroll back and watch me realize that live. It was actually probably not pretty watching me process that. But anyways, yeah, I've had days when I looked like that too, but it was not pot. I'll just say that. It's never been pot that made me look like that. Never ever. Never ever. Never ever ever ever.
We'll make a copy of this for you, ma'am. And then we'll see you back here next week on the 29th.
On 20, okay,
Yep,
perfect.
just
Thank
stand
you.
right there for a minute. We'll give you a
Okay.
copy. Copy of it will get emailed to you there, Ms. Gordon, but I'm telling you now.
Is he throwing up? Yeah, nitrous, not even one time, Amanda. Actually, that's a lie. In Canada, when you give birth, they give you gas and air as a pain relief measure, which is actually way smarter. They don't do it in the States for some reason, but it makes a lot of sense. It doesn't cross the blood-brain barrier in the same way to the womb, and it's very well metered, especially if you mix it properly with air and you're under medical supervision. Doing gas and air can relieve pain, especially for contractions, for a long time without being a narcotic. And so in Canada, every ER, or not ER, sorry, maternity ward or OBGYN's floor or whatever, has it just literally in the walls. Like it was in the wall. It just came out of the wall. You just have a mask. And it was what got me through like 24 hours of labor before I ended up having to get an epidural. But I went through 24 hours of labor sucking back that thing. Oh, wow. 24 weird hours. I'll tell you.
You need to be back here on the 29th at 9 a.m.
Okay.
And that leaves the O'Neills. So
She's a maker. Hi. Thank you for all your comments. I appreciate it. Seriously, I love seeing comments from people that maybe have dropped for a little while or they've been lurking or whatever, because I'm always like, oh my gosh, thank gosh. A little worried. Let me see here. Let's hope the fucking O'Neills have something good here. Otherwise, this is going to be a total bomb. But whatever. We've had a good time so far. Let's see what we got. Hey? Let's see.
ma'am, you come up, and sir, you can come up and take a seat there. Ms. Casey O'Neill and Ms. Shelley O'Neill could come on the Zoom call.
Okay.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Hi. And Ms. Gordon, you're free to leave the Zoom call. So this is a bit of a complicated. So a number of things have been filed here also. I'm going to call these up. Here's what I understand to be where we're at. So Casey O'Neill on the Zoom call brought an order against, or asked for an order against Otto O'Neill, who's here in court. Subsequently, Tara O'Neill, who's also here in court, asked for an order against Casey O'Neill. And then later on, Shelley O'Neill is asking for an order against Otto O'Neill. As I understand things, Shelley O'Neill and Tara O'Neill live next to each other. They share a fence. Casey O'Neill does not live on the premises. Tara O'Neill used to be married or used to be a partner with, is that the brother of Casey O'Neill or the cousin? Or what cousin. Exactly? The cousin. And what was it, Robert O'Neill? Randy O'Neill. I knew it was an R. Yeah. So Randy O'Neill. And what's the relationship between Randy O'Neill and Shelley O'Neill? Are they father or mother and son?
His
or
aunt. It's his aunt.
I see. And so currently also you have an order and your children against Randy O'Neill that covers you and your children, correct? When did that order enter?
The permanent one in November.
In November? Okay, so that's fairly recent.
Yeah.
Now, and then also from what I understand, and again, just how we all got here, Shelley or someone, one of the O'Neills, Shelley or Casey, put a no trespassing sign. There's dispute as to what side of the fence it was on. I think from Tara and Otto O'Neill's perception was on their side of the fence. Casey O'Neill was quite adamant in her conversations with the sheriff's office. It was on her side of the fence. In any case, it's not disputed that Otto O'Neill took the no trespassing sign down, went to a different part of the property. used it for target practice, which is somebody else's word, and and now kind of here we are. And so that's kind of the long and the short of where we're at. Everybody seems to be nodding.
If I could add something, I also have a protection order for myself and my children against Jamie Hausman, who also lives, it's Shelley O'Neill's daughter, and she also lives with
Does
her.
she live at Shelley O'Neill's place?
Yes.
Okay.
Jamie Hausman was the Miss Piggy lady, you guys. That was the lady with the crazy makeup. Remember that night? With that lady with the crazy makeup? That was Jamie. 100% guarantee it. I remember. Oh my God. Think about this. I would love to imagine the lunchroom at the courthouse. Like if all the judges went to the courthouse. Maybe they do. I don't know. Do you think they eat together? I don't think they do. But imagine if they did like have like a monthly like lunch and learn. Oh, reminder of when we used to call them lunch and learns. Hi, Crystal Fullaway. But Jamie was obsessed with her cousin Bubba. Wasn't his name Bubba? I'm pretty sure his name was Bubba. Oh, was it Randy or Bubba? I'm almost positive there was a Bubba involved. I'd have to look back at my notes, aka rewatch my stream. I don't take notes like that. I do take weird notes, but hey, phone, stop it. Would you? Thank you.
And what's her relation? So, oh, I see.
She's Shelley's daughter.
I got you. So, all right. So, and from what I understand, also there was a dispute. Well, this is my property or not. I'm actually going to start with you, ma'am, Tara O'Neill, because everybody's crossword, and we'll at some point we'll swell everybody in. Everybody will get a chance to speak. But could you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear and affirm the information you share will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
You can put your hand down. I have a question. I don't know who owns that property you're currently living on. What's your long-term plan with that? Or is there one?
I'm actually have a couple of other court cases going on with my ex, a custody case, which I'm trying to include a committed intimate relationship and division of property with that. But he has also filed with Superior Court an eviction for myself and my children.
I see. When's that scheduled to be heard?
The February, just got rescheduled to February 9th, I believe.
I see.
There is no motion in there. His lawyer struck the motion.
Okay.
So I'm asking for.
And then who owns the property?
Randy O'Neill owns it.
I see.
Now, if I remember correctly, Randy O'Neill got a TPO put against him because he had a pocket knife on him or something. Courtney, don't. Oh, you have to watch Matilda again? Yes. That's a Hundy P, yes. I thought you were going to say this. I was like, no, I bet we'll get a recap tomorrow, depending on if Mikey gets my message tonight to pull all of those for if they show this tomorrow. We'll see. We will see, won't we? Or at least a little flashback clip of it, you know?
Okay. So you're asking for an order against Casey O'Neill. How do you ask? What? Go ahead. Explain to me why you need an order against her.
I've never met her until the day she showed up at my house early in the morning. First, I got a call from my sister that someone was pounding on her car door, or she had just dropped her son off with me. And then I got up out of bed and heard pounding and screaming at my door and answered it. And that's when I met her for the first time. I was unsure of why she came to my door, but she was screaming about her horse. I still was unsure what she was talking about, but apparently she bought a horse from my ex.
Rooster?
Rooster, yes, which was our, one of our family.
Is her ex named Rooster or is her horse? Is the horse named Rooster? I don't know which one makes less sense, to be honest with you. Also, now I'm remember when this case was brought forth and the parents said that they have the girl that lives there and that she drives around and scares off horses or something on her ATVs? Is that this case? Oh God, now I am gonna have to look back. She's smiling a lot though. But seriously, either the horse is named Rooster or her ex is named Rooster. Either way, weird. Fucking weird.
Horses. But I had no idea she had purchased it because I don't speak with him and I also don't speak with anybody over at Shelley's home.
Okay.
And then it turned into the no trespassing signs. She brought that up.
Yeah, I heard about that.
But she never came to my home just for a conversation. She didn't come to introduce herself and say, hey, this is what's going on. Can we work together? She came very violent.
Have you had any contact with her since then? Since that, and there, somebody submitted the body cam. Was that you?
I submitted that, yes.
Yeah. After that, and even then, there wasn't any contact, interaction between you and her. Have you had any contact with her since then?
No, not since she came to my home.
Got it. Shelley O'Neill.
Yes, sir.
Can you come on the Zoom call, please?
I think I am.
Oh my God, Shelley with her computer screen cut off. Oh shit. It's all coming back, it's all coming back to me now. It was Shelley O'Neill with her laptop all down.
Yeah, no, I mean, unmute yourself. So come on so I can hear you. Can you raise your right hand, please? You swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You're asking for an order against Otto. And so how is it that you need an order against him?
Because it's been a nightmare ever since Tara Jean got the order against my daughter. And I've been in the vehicle. Otto or Tara has followed us. I don't know if it's because she doesn't know where Randy's living at the time. I don't really care. What irritates us and scares my 12-year-old grandson who lives here is there's a vehicle involved that belongs to another party that Randy was driving when his car was not working or something happened. That lady is Allison Lewis. She lives in Hawaii. She asked my daughter to sell the car for her because Randy doesn't need it and she doesn't want to pay to ship it to Hawaii. When Tara got her restraining order against Randy, the extra set of keys to that car were still at Randy's house. So Otto has continued until we got the temporary order to set off the alarm in that car all hours of the day and night, 2 o'clock in the morning, during the middle of the day. He's done it at my daughter's work, so they had to call the police there as well. We're on our 4th no trespassing sign. I put chains on the gates because, yes, we share a property line, and Randy replaced the fence that was.
Hold on. If they're wet, cellulite yoga pants, don't put them on directly onto that. If you have dirty laundry that you want to use and you can sacrifice them, You put them out on top of the dryer, not in the dryer. Yeah, I understand. But what's going to happen is it's cellulose that like those laundry pods have around them. So if you let them dry on the dryer, they're going to stick to it. And then when you rip them open, it'll all spill out. So you either want to like put them into like onto a dirty piece of clothing that you're going to be using in the next couple loads and then use them, or um stick them together. I don't know. That's my theory. But what I know is that whenever I've gotten laundry pods or dishwasher pods or whatever wet and then they stick together, they stick to something when they dry. There are too many. Okay. Maybe this is a Google question. I bet somebody on Google has answered this already. Let's figure out what to do if you got all your laundry pods wet. What's dissolvable in the washing machine that won't hurt it? Would a tissue hurt them? No, wax paper wouldn't be good for in the washing machine, but maybe you could wrap them in a tissue. Or maybe you could saran wrap them until you need them and then unwrap them and then put them in and not put the saran wrap in. That's what I would do actually. I would individually saran wrap them all like candies. That's my theory.
Was there. I contributed the gates. I have a drive-through gate and a walk-through gate. Those were where the signs were that he ripped off. We have bought 4 different no signs. Otto likes to get in vehicles and act like he's going to run through the fence. It's just until this temporary order went into place, it's always been something. I don't care anything about these people. I don't want to interact with them. I don't want them on my property. I don't go on their property. I just want to be left alone by this kid.
So, thank you. Could you raise your right hand, please? You swear and affirm the information you testify to will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
You can put your hand down. And then I'll hear from you in terms of specifically what Ms. Shelley O'Neill just said. I'll probably want to hear from you again when I hear from Ms. Casey O'Neill. So go ahead. What's your position on what you just heard?
My mother instructed me to.
I need you to speak louder so it's picked up on the radar.
My mother.
First of all, how old are you?
18.
Thank you. Go ahead.
My mother instructed me to take down the no trespassing signs. So I did. They were on the internal side of our fence, facing towards our property. As far as the extra car, I don't have access to any other keys or don't get access to any other keys. But
so where is the car? Is the car on your place, Ms. O'Neill, Shelley O'Neill?
Yes, it is.
And you're saying there's no key, you don't have the keys?
No, Your Honor.
And you don't have the keys to that car?
No, actually, I'm waiting on keys myself. My ex was court ordered back in November to give back home keys and mailbox keys because he was no longer there and my mail was being stolen. I still haven't received those back. So he has 3 little trucks at our house that we have keys to. I mean, we have keys to our own vehicles. I've never even driven that car or I've never had keys.
Your Honor, that's, if I may, Tara is correct. She has never had keys to that car, nor has she ever driven that car. Again, there's no love lost between her and Allison, so Allison wouldn't allow her to drive her car. But the car came with 2 sets of keys, and the spare set was left at that house. And it's correct, Randy's never been able to get the keys or any of his items because they can't agree on a time and a place or whatever. But that's between them, and I don't care. I just know that according to the car owner, there's 2 sets of keys, and the other set was there. She left them there.
Okay. How old is this car?
I don't know. It's a 2000 something silver Honda. It's
And you said this happens at her work too?
Yes, and the police were called, and they went to her work. And when they talked to Otto, he said he was just going to Dairy Queen to get something to eat.
Where does
Oh my God, integral question that I need to ask you guys right now. If you're new here, by the way, I live in Canada, and I say it like I live in Minnesota, but I live in Canada, on the West Coast even. There, I'll change it. I live in Canada. I can't get rid of it. I'm the that tone, for some reason I can't get rid of it. Anyways, regardless, what I'm trying to explain is that Dairy Queen here has something called, is it like $7 meal or something like that? It used to be a $5 meal, but now it's a $7 meal. But back in the day, it was a $5 meal, and it was a drink, a main, like a burger or chicken strips or whatever, a side, onion rings or fries, and a sundae for like $5 or $7, one or the other. And they it's now $7, but we used to, is it DQ now? Well, it's Dairy Queen still here. You couldn't get a Blizzard, but you could get a sundae. And oh no, wait, there's a 2 for $5. That's what it is, 2 for $5. And I would go and get 2 sundaes for $5, which is cheaper than 1 sundae. La duh, why wouldn't I do that? Oh my God. Canada.
does she work? Does she work at Dairy Queen?
No, she works at a driving school. It's kind of like a mini, there's a driving school, there's Dairy Queen, there's I think there's Domino's Pizza. There's all kinds of little stores in this little area. There's a Starbucks.
And so when the police came, Otto was there?
Yes, he was at Dairy Queen. The thing with Otto is he always likes to let us know that it's him. He's followed us to the store. We went to Walmart, and he parks across from us and sits there revving his engine and staring at us. For what reason, I don't know. I mean, it's a typical kid thing, I think. A typical kid that's got issues. His mom says he does this stuff because of his concussions. He's had a lot of concussions. I don't know that. I'm not privy to his medical records. I don't want to know. I just want him to leave us alone and to stop. And I think it's interesting that since the temporary order has been in place, not once has the car alarm gone off.
Whoa! I would like to stop this broadcast to talk to Don Moore a little bit. Wendy's still has 4 for $4. Whoa! Whoa. A junior bacon cheeseburger, a JBC, as we call it, if you're going to the Wendy's. Can I get 2 JBCs? That'll cost you, what are they, $2.89 each? They're $2.89 each. So that's as cheap as you get. You can't get fucking shit for $1. Back in the day, during the summer in Canada, McDonald's used to do dollar drink days, they would call them. Dollar drink days. Where it was $1 for a drink. And I would literally go to McDonald's for the drink. But they don't do that anymore. Now it's $4 for a drink. And I'm like, no, never going to happen. No. But when it was dollar drink days, I would inevitably go, I'm going to go grab $1 drink, any size. Yeah, extra large. And, well, of course I'm going to get some nuggies. Or of course I'm just going to get a double cheeseburger. I mean, duh. And that's the whole plan because pop is so fucking cheap.
All right. Ms. Casey O'Neill, will you raise your right hand, please? Unmute.
Yes, Your Honor.
You swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
You can put your hand down. Go ahead.
I don't know where to begin. My only interest in this case is my horse that's on my aunt's property. The police told me to put those signs up, and it was, you know, it was New Year's Eve when I was over at the, I don't know if you know what Truly Motivated building is, there in Yelm. So I'm where the property meets, but I'm over here, you know, across the way, and I see fireworks going off, and I hear gunshots, and I call, and they had to call the police because my sign was taken down and shot. You know, my horse is my only interest in this case.
I don't know that we've ever heard that before. Baked potatoes for $1? Oh my God, no. Baked potatoes like $3.99. And Ed, what don't you believe me on, Ed? I promise I'm telling the truth. I swear to God. Even if I'm exaggerating, I promise I'm telling the truth. Ask me specifically what it is. Have we ever heard somebody say, I'm only here because of my horse in court? I really don't think we have. Sometimes little things just stick out in your head, right? Oh, Canada doesn't have summer. Oh, Ed, see, I'm sorry. You don't understand. I live in the fake part of Canada that is actually more south than a number of United States and would just be considered just north of Seattle. And here's my humble brag. I live on the southern tip of Vancouver Island. That is actually a humble brag. Loud Elvis would agree. He knows. He knows.
That's all. I go to that property, I ride my horse. Randy O'Neill did not get that horse. Allison Lewis, the owner of the horse, sold me the horse. I've known Allison since I was a teenager. She's the one that taught me how to ride. And so my fear of Otto, let me tell you where my fear of Otto comes from. Yes, I went to their property. I 100% went to their property. Tara had to hold Otto back, who came out without a shirt on and was going to hit me. Which is, you know, I was on their property. Well, it's not, I was on my cousin's property. Let's back up a little bit. I didn't know any of the story. I didn't even know he wasn't there. This is all like new information to me. I've been just, you know, I haven't been a part of our family for a while due to my own issues. But he had his mom not have stopped him, that young man would have hit me. He appears a lot stronger than I. A lot stronger. So I am in fear of this young man. And if I could continue my order, I would appreciate it. Also, I have not been served yet while I'm speaking to you. It was supposed to be emailed to me, but it hasn't.
Okay. I guess it looked to me like you were, so were you here? You were here last week, weren't you? Didn't we set this over?
You were supposed to email it to me, but I never received it. Which is fine. Your Honor, I accept being served. If that's what
Stop.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Okay. It's all available on the court file. Maybe there was a miscommunication of some kind.
Maybe if you could resend it, that'd be great, and I can look over it. It's really not of
Well,
any
it's not
importance.
going to send it. You get on the Thurston County District Court website, and then you look in the court file through there.
Okay,
So
I'm
that's the
sorry.
miscommunication. We didn't send it.
Okay, that's my bad probably.
Well,
But
again,
that's
it's the
all.
same thing then. If I'm going to be on here next week, you won't have to repeat everything. If you want a copy to review all this, we can come back next week.
I don't want the time.
You don't what?
I want to, do we have to come back next week or can we resolve
Well,
anything?
you just said you wanted to review all the stuff that have been filed.
No,
and you
I
haven't
don't
been
have to.
served. So I'm saying, okay, that's fine. If you know, I understand that. I'll give you an opportunity to review all that. And then yes, it probably would have to come back next week. But if
No.
you're ready to go forward today on the evidence that I have in front of me here right now, then I can make a decision right now. So I mean, that's kind of up to you. You have the right to be able to look at all this stuff. And if you haven't done it, then I'll give you that opportunity, certainly.
I'd like to proceed, please.
All right.
Well, thank fuck for that, considering we've been waiting for somebody to be able to proceed with the case today so far. Hi, Credence and Mikey. How are you doing? What's a PEP? What is that? Vegas, Chris. I was in Houston, love it, but I would go to Vegas. I've never been to Vegas. I want to go to Vegas. At least one time. Anyways, Judge is so grumpy today. So grumpy. Is Pepsi? No. Oh, you're talking about pizza. A large pep. As in pizza. Oh, God. My brain would never have done that. That's nuts. No, I would. Why? My brain would never have comprehended that without people writing it. I guess, does that mean pepperoni pizza? I thought it was a weird little, like, a drink from the South where you're from. Like a pop. Like I would say, I thought it was a pop. You have dollar drinks at Macca's in Australia. However, $1 for a cup of ice and a dribble of syrup is still robbery. It is still robbery, but $4 is much bigger robbery, Philip feels. And if anybody's wondering, in Australia, they call McDonald's Macca's. And, oh fuck, is it Hungry Jack's? What do you call Burger King? There is something else that you call Burger King. What is it? Is it Hungry Jack's? It's a totally different name, but it is the Burger King brand in Australia. But Macca's is what they would call McDonald's, and then I think it's Hungry Jack for their Whoppers all. Well, Mikey, do you need pizza? Can't you get pizza where you are? You gotta order it. I want sushi. That's what I would really love right now. It's not gonna happen. Not going to happen. Burger King is Hungry Jack's in Australia. Yeah, I got that right. Yay. Look at me.
So those no trespass signs,
Yes, sir.
tell me about those. I mean, and she says they're on their fourth one. What?
There was 2 that were on our gate that me and my dad had. That whole fence line, me and my dad had made the previous summer.
Mm-hmm. And that's Randy?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I believe I took pictures of the signs on our side of the fence and along with the locks.
All right. I'm going to ask your mother, do they need that door to get in and out there?
No.
Okay. I mean, do you need that door?
Do we need it?
Yeah, to get
No.
in and off your property?
No, it's to get, it goes between my property and their property.
I see. So who cares if there's a chain on it and lock?
Oh, we don't care if there's a chain or a lock.
Okay.
It was put on by them.
Okay, well, I thought I heard somebody saying someone was trying to take it off. Did I mishear?
Otto was.
Say that again, Shelley O'Neill?
Otto was trying to take it off when we first put it on.
what do you get at Noodles and Company? I don't know what that is, Mikey. I'm gonna look it up, but I want to know what you get. And again, it's pretty late for dinner. I mean, it's 6 o'clock on the West Coast. That's 9 o'clock. You're eating late. Oh, I want noodles too. Also, Tiny Piggy, are you talking to me? Because I can't sit still. I've tried that. Actually, I have my weighted cover. I'll grab that. I'll see if I can.
I've never tried to.
Okay. So why did you, it hasn't been brought up yet. Why'd you take that no trespassing sign and shoot holes in it? I mean, how do you think that was going to be perceived by other people?
The signs were, they're thin, like sheet metal.
Yeah.
And our horses, since they used to be kind of pasture buddies, they kind of yell at each other from the pasture. And
so you have horses out there too?
Yes, sir.
Not Rooster though.
No. Me and my father had bought a horse for each other. And
no, my question is, why did you shoot them? That doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't know, Your Honor. It was just further.
I don't either. And how do you think that Ms. Shelley O'Neill is going to see that when she puts out a no trespassing sign? There's been more. You take one and shoot some holes in it. What do you think she's going to think?
Hold on, am I missing something? It's pasta that you got? Oh, I thought it was like Asian noodles. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is my. This thing keeps me pretty steady actually, because it's weighted. It's all like it's all. Okay, whatever. I love pasta though. I have some pesto in the fridge. But now I'm not going to get up because I'm wearing the shawl.
Then at the Dairy Queen, do you have any interaction at the Dairy Queen with some police? Do you have any contact with? Apparently, Ms. O'Neill, Shelley O'Neill, said that that alarm in that car went off while it was at someone's work, and law enforcement came, and you were contacted the Dairy Queen. You went there to get something to eat, and then, but it was near when that car went off.
No, Your Honor, I've never been approached by any officer.
Okay. Ms. O'Neill, don't laugh. It's possible that I'm not thinking.
Okay, Judge, I was laughing because I looked up Noodle House. Oh, Tiny Piggy, you weren't talking about me. Thank you so much for this super chat. Okay, so I don't need this on, is what you're saying. I wasn't being that fidgety. And now I can't get it off. Oh, there we go. I was laughing, Judge, because I just looked up what is it called? Noodle House? Anyways, I looked it up and I just wanted to say that everything that popped up for me right away is Asian. We have the Jang Young Noodle House, the Asian Noodle House, the JJ Wonton Noodle House, Momi Noodles, Vietnam House Restaurant, Noodle Box, Q Noodles. So, what do I have to type in North Carolina to see that menu as well? Like to see what it is? I don't know. Nothing's coming up for me. But again, I guess it knows where Noodles and Company. They're closing soon. Did you get your order in on time? Did you?
And this is funny. So you shouldn't laugh.
It's funny either, sir.
Okay, so tell me about what happened there.
It's very frustrating. It scares my grandson. It scares my granddaughter that live here. I don't know why Otto does the things he does. His mom blames it on his concussions and his impulse control. I don't really know. I'm not a medical doctor. I just want the child to leave us alone. And he doesn't. He has only stopped doing all this stuff Not once has the alarm gone off. Nobody has followed us. And that has only happened since they were served with the temporary restraining order. So to me, it's working because they're leaving us alone. I certainly don't bother them. I don't care what they do.
Okay.
If I
All
may,
right,
Your
hang
Honor.
on just a second. I'm going to hear from Tara O'Neill. Go ahead.
Regarding my son's concussions, he's had concussions. It doesn't, he's always done target practice. The sad thing is, since splitting up with my ex, he's not his biological father, but he is the only father that he knows.
Right.
And he used to call Shelly Grandma Shelly. And up until we split up, now all of a sudden they want nothing to do with my children because we are not blood O'Neills. And it's actually really sad.
Ooh, I pressed a different button. I would get the roasted garlic cream tortellini. Maybe. Or I don't know if I would go with a pad thai from a place that has a macaroni noodle as their logo. No offense. It's just like not the type of noodle that they're into. But I think, yeah, I would go with the roasted garlic cream tortellini. And yes, you can have it sent to my house in Canada, Mikey. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with that.
My son, he should not have taken the signs. I instructed him to take them down. Our animals have gotten hurt on those kind of signs in the past of ours that we actually put up. So we've learned our lesson. We didn't want them on our side. I did not tell him to shoot them and he shouldn't have done that. But my son, ever since we lived there, we've done target practice in the same spot. His dad's done it. I mean, the neighbors have always known of it. Some of our other neighbors have even come over to that same area. My son never would try to hurt anybody. He is not that kind of kid. He did not come at Casey O'Neill. She was very aggressive when she came into our home, and I actually thought she was going to try and fight me. My son was woken up out of his.
Well, I would like a full review from your son then on that dish that I want to try but can't. Cold Stone Creamery is open late here. That was one of my pregnancy cravings. Oh my God. So fierce. Casey's aggressive walking right now, Jonathan. Yeah, I think so. And now I'm just absolutely sidetracked by thoughts of tortellini. Just thoughts of tortellini dancing in my head.
Sleep, and he was in his underwear. I didn't hold him back. I couldn't hold him back even if I tried, if he was trying to get through.
So, Ms. Shelley O'Neill, I'll hear from you. You want to say something?
Yes. Tara is correct in that we haven't had anything to do with her children, but that's not at our request, that's at hers. She and Randy share a son that is a great nephew to me that she refuses to let any of us see. Her other children, I don't know if it's at Tara's request or their own decision, ignore us. They don't talk to us when they see us. So we have not stopped. Tara stopped the contact between her children and any of the O'Neills.
All right. Do you want to say something, Casey O'Neill? Then I'm going to give a ruling.
I would like to say that she put a restraining order on my cousin and my other cousin, Jamie Dean. So nobody can contact those children because it would be third-party contact, correct?
I mean, yeah, I'm not going to.
I'm sorry, I'm done. Okay, thank you.
Talk about an order that I've never seen. I'm not going to, if you're asking me to say correct or incorrect, the short answer is I don't know, and I'm not going to comment on that.
You don't have to say correct. Our family is very big on family. We always have been. It's important for us to see our family, but that is not our choice, Your Honor. It never has been.
Okay, so the ruling, again, there's 3 cases here, and here's what I'm going to do in all 3 of them. I'll go in chronological order, I think. In that, on the case of Casey O'Neill, asking for an order against Tara O'Neill, or no, against Otto O'Neill, that's going to be denied. The incident that referenced about she came on to Tara O'Neill's property very early in the morning. I'm not sure exactly when. And again, pounded on the door, created quite, for lack of a better term, a ruckus. I thought the body cam that was submitted by Ms. Tara O'Neill was pretty compelling. And what, and again, I read it before, but I'll read it again. Give me just a second in terms of definition of harassment.
Ooh, can I remember it? A persistent course of action over a period of time, which is done to annoy, harass, or something to another party for no valid reason. Something along those lines.
Is a knowing and willful course of conduct. Is a knowing willful course of conduct directed at a specific person that seriously alarms, annoys, harasses, or is detrimental to such person and serves no legitimate or lawful purpose. And again, there has been some interaction. Again, I'll get to the trespassing signs when I talk about Ms. Shelley O'Neill's order, but Ms. Casey didn't live on the property. And then I not hear anything that indicates that there's been any sort of threat to this horse. And I know the sheriff's office referenced that in the body cam. And so again, the behavior, Ms. O'Neill's failed to present a sufficient pattern of conduct that rises to the level of harassment with regard to Otto O'Neill. With regard to Casey O'Neill, being the respondent in Tara O'Neill's petition, that is going to be denied as well. That's kind of their interaction was essentially a single incident where Ms. Casey O'Neill came onto the property. She, and again, to confront her about something, the state of her horse. And then there was, she had been trespassed from that property by the sheriff's office, told her she had no right to be on that property. As far as I know, she hasn't been back. So again, that hasn't been a pattern of conduct that rises to the level of harassment also. So that's going to be denied as well. With regard to Shelley O'Neill's petition, that's a little bit different because you know, with regard to the horn, the proximity of Mr. Otto O'Neill, when the horn has gone off, there was the disputed issue as to whether or not this happened at her work while Mr. Otto O'Neill was close by at Dairy Queen. He says, I have no idea what you're talking about. Ms. O'Neill says, no, that actually happened. Ms. Neal also said that the horn has gone off, stopped ever since the temporary was entered. And also there's the issue of the no trespass signs. I mean, I asked you how old you were, you're 18. You know, just continually put a no trespassing signs out, you take it down. Another one comes up, you take it down. You take one down, shoot it full of holes or a hole in it. I'm not sure exactly how many. Of course, that's going to annoy and harass the people who put the sign out. And so I am going to enter an order in behalf of Ms. Shelley O'Neill. You just got to stop that. You understand that? You're just not to have any contact with her. And don't go ahead. You wanted to say something?
Can I speak?
Yes.
There was only one incident where the sign was put up and taken down.
Okay.
Was one time.
And before all this, I mean,
I know you got along well, apparently, but I'm just going to draw a line there that you're just not to have any, I'm finding that there's been a sufficient allegations of behavior consistent with harassment. So you just, I know what your position is on that alarm, but I don't want to hear about any alarms again. I don't want to hear about any signs ripped down or shot afterwards. And Ms. Shelley O'Neill and Ms. Kate.
Miss Mary Smith, welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you again. Crazy night last night. Still trying to wrap my brain around that. But thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, yeah, the judge did just say a-hole. Like a hundy P said a-hole. I was giggling. I sure was. While stuffing my face with the leftover breakfast that I forgot about that I just saw. So, great.
O'Neill, if you want to put a no trespassing sign, this isn't part of the order. This is just a word to the wise. Put it on the ground, not attached to the fence, on your side of the fence. Just do it. That way there's no dispute about where it is or anything like that. If it's a shared fence, arguably it could be on the it could be construed no matter which side it's on. Either party would have, if it's a shared fence, may have a right to address it. But given what's alleged, that's what I'm going to do here for today. You understand?
Oh, Lizette, that's unfortunate. We are thinking about you and sending good vibes. That's terrible. Sorry to hear that. First of all, I just want to point out I make breakfast around noon. So I guess it's still been 6 hours, which is not very good. Maybe 1 o'clock I made breakfast actually. And it wasn't really hiding. It was hiding in plain sight. I made myself 2 breakfast sandwiches. I only ate 1 breakfast sandwich because my medication kicked in faster than I thought. And then I left the other one. But now I just ate half of it. Oh dear. Also, Mary, you're blaming Mary? Is that what's happening here? All right, whatever. I just got a call. I got a message from Mikey saying as long as it's not his credit card, he's A-okay with it.
That Mr. Otto O'Neill? Okay, you're old enough to figure that out. But all the other 2 will be denied. Yes, sir.
What are like the
This is going to be, I'll tell you the perimeter, you're just not to have any contact with her. Don't follow her around. Don't look at her. If she don't talk to her, don't do anything. And if she puts signs up, leave them alone.
May I say one
You
quick
want to say
thing,
something,
even though
ma'am?
I'm not involved?
Yeah, I just.
I'm sorry?
What about the guns? I'm
What's that?
sorry.
No, I'm not making any ruling with regard to that. I mean, the people, and again, I've heard that they've taken target practice on that, and I don't take guns away from people just because they have them. And I'm not making any ruling on that. You should be smart in how you use that. Otherwise, we'll be back here. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
And maybe more serious charges.
My question was, when the sheriff served him, he said that he wasn't allowed to be within 1,000 feet of.
Yeah, we're going to change that. That's going to be, he's just not, there's not going to be a distance restriction.
Okay.
He's not to come onto the premises. So has he not been home since then? Yeah.
No, he.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
So he's not to come with, again, give me just a minute here.
Okay,
Let me
thank you.
fill all these out here.
What's she laughing about? Okay, Judge, you're taking a long time to do this. I guess I'll just skippity dip dip skippity dip dip skippity dip 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 dip.
Or following around or okay, so the order is going to be basically you're not to do her any harm, you're not to contact her, you're not to engage in stalking behavior, or videotaping or following around or filming or anything like that. And you're not to enter, return to, or knowingly come onto the premises of the protected person, their residence or place of work. So there's not a distance restriction, be it your home, anything like that. You just can't, it's basically a no trespass order and don't have any interaction with this person. Do you understand that? Now, there was the issue of the truck and, whether or not this doesn't really govern that either. In terms of ATV, there's reference ATV vehicles and I don't know what you're doing on the truck out there, but you should be thoughtful about what you do and how what you're doing is perceived by others. Do you understand that? And so, I mean, it's not like you can do this for the truck or you can't do that, but you just need to think about what you're doing out there. You seem smart enough, you'd be able to figure that out. Make a copy of this and then you're free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor. Am I free to go?
What's that? Yes,
Am I free
you're
to go? Thank you.
and you could get copies of this I'll give you copies of these things right now, but you can get copies of the rest of them, get copies off the Thurston County District Court website.
Is that it, Judge? Is that all you got?
Yeah. So ma'am, your leave. We're gonna shut down the Zoom call.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, yeah, it was. You're to leave, ma'am. Get out of here. We're done. Hi, Chuck. You've arrived at a time when I am about to depart. But thank you so much for being here. Now I'm not so hungry because I just ate that thing, but I am a little bit hungry still for the garlic tortellini or whatever it was that I wanted from the nudes place. I do want pasta. Anyways, listen, guys. I love you so much. Wonderful. What a wonderful couple of days it's been. The channel is growing. We'll be at 1,000 before we know it. I want to come back to Florida. It's on my list of things to do, Courtney. Yeah. I do love tortellini. Yeah, I was tortellini. Anyways, listen. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And I need you to remember that I love you. I'm proud of you. And I will see you in the next video. I can go have my dollar cookie so they don't have dollar drink days here anymore. Seriously though. Bye. I said bye. I'm gonna go beat my microphone now. That sounds dirtier than it should.